Hey guys, how's it going? Nick the Goat Mazesco.
David Jesus Clatterbutt.
We are the Bracket Guys, and we have a little bonus review. Alright, in case I know y'all can't see this, but my computer, which we're filming on, just went to a screensaver. So in case anyone's concerned, the Foster the People pumps up with Logic Pro.
Yeah, so we could have lost track of what was going on.
Anywho. I just bumped this so I can actually. Oh hey! We're back. All right, go team. So we got a bonus review. In light of the Serranos beating out Sushi on our first matchup, we do have a bonus review. We did go to a new restaurant we had not been to yet, Sansu Sushi and Cocktails. So we thought we'd kind of give our thoughts on that one. That pretty much sums it up. All right, thank you for watching this.
Those are my thoughts.
Well, let's start with the beginning. You walk into the restaurant.
Let's step back. And before we walk into the restaurant, we're looking for new places to go. I mean, we're doing the bracket for places we've already been, but we wanted to go to new places. So we look up Sansu, we're looking up sushi places. You know, we have our places that we've been before and we enjoy. But this one got a lot of favorable reviews. A lot of people really raved about this.
Big on Yelp, big with our friends.
Big on Yelp, big with people we know. So we go to Sansu.
Location-wise, not a bad location. It's on Hagedorn Road, next to East Complex, the Michigan State campus. It's sort of a big strip mall.
Right.
Got a couple restaurants. And more restaurants than I thought.
Well, apparently a lot of restaurants, actually. Which I didn't realize either.
So, not a bad location, not a great location, but it wasn't bad.
No, sure.
You walk in, two ways to eat. You got the traditional dining, and they also got a traditional Japanese-style dining where you take your shoes off, sit on the floor. Which I thought was an interesting touch. I like that. I hadn't seen that before, and I like that they gave both options so people weren't comfortable with bare feet. Right. They could eat in the traditional restaurant. And I know with kids that probably wouldn't be
probably not a great plan.
And it appeared all the tables were two-seated?
No.
2 to 4?
2 to 4.
So if you had any more than that, you were in serious trouble. You couldn't, pull over cushion.
I didn't see anything. But we ate the traditional American style.
Yep. Service-wise, was horrendous. Terrible. Oh my lord.
Oh my goodness. It was awful.
Oh sweet lord. She came once in 20 minutes.
She very quickly came and got us water.
And we had mentioned that we were going to order.
And then she left.
And she didn't come back for 15 minutes.
No, she was
went to many other tables. Other tables probably.
We saw her a lot. Like, she was nearby.
But we were afraid that we were having that imaginary friend problem. Like, are we both imaginary?
And you can see me.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
But nonetheless.
Why is that
the service was terrible.
Short hair sitting there talking to himself? Like,
I don't know. Why is the fat guy eating something?
Why is he eating the table? It's just terrible.
So,
personal favorite, before we ordered, my personal favorite part of this. So, when you go to a restaurant and you say, I have not been to this restaurant before, I would like to order food. What do you typically do first?
You look at the menu.
You look at the menu. You say, well, I'm at a international restaurant. I really recognize all these dishes. True. So I like to know what's in them. So typically, what does the menu do to help you with that?
Well, it usually describes the dishes.
It describes the dishes. And typically, if you're there with another person, perhaps you could read your menu, and they could read their menu. And then
very common practice.
You could have basically a shared reference about what you might be ordering. That didn't happen, did it? That didn't happen. Didn't really happen.
No, we did have two menus.
We did have two menus, and they did have the same dishes on them. And the descriptions, they weren't the same. Well, no, they were close. But they were
leaving out important words.
They were close, and it was close enough that you just left out enough important words.
It's like on one menu it said, well, for dessert we have a chocolate cake, and on the other one it said we have a chocolate coconut cake. Those are not the same thing.
Those are not the same thing.
They're close, I guess.
I guess technically not that, but those are pretty different. That's very much what happened. And then the waitress sort of blew us off. And we were like,
the waitress was very those are the same thing. How do you not know that? Because I don't work here.
Because yes, I didn't make the sushi. I don't know. I don't know which one's right. Like, she clearly thought we should just, of course, know which one's correct. Let's say, theoretically, I guess if you go to a cheeseburger restaurant and they have two different descriptions, you should know which one is accurately describing a cheeseburger. Yes. But this is not a cheeseburger. This is a sushi restaurant. There are people in this country who don't know sushi a lot. I had sushi like twice before I came to college.
I never had it.
Doesn't come up that much for a lot of people. They were just different things. It was very weird.
So, we did eventually figure out what we were ordering. We got 2 Japanese beers, which were probably Bud Light.
I mean, I am not convinced that the one that you got was not Bud Light. I'm still not convinced.
It wasn't It wasn't bad. I mean,
we like those kind of things.
But I kind of was expecting something new, and it wasn't. And then, we ordered 4 rolls, of which came anywhere between 6 and 12, I guess.
6.
Small ones were 6 to 8, big ones were 8 to 12, which we'll get into later. But I mean, we started out with a soup and salad.
Yeah.
No.
In their defense, soup and salad were complimentary. If you order more than $9.
Okay. Now, before we continue, I mean, if you do you mind if I have a word with the viewers?
With the viewers.
Okay, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna have a private discussion. Okay. Hello. I'd like to give some advice to people who might be opening a restaurant. When you serve a salad, first of all, you must actually serve a salad, as opposed to what we got, which was lettuce, 1 piece of cabbage, spoonful of dressing. Now, if you were going to do this, and you were going to open a Japanese restaurant which uses chopsticks.
I'm going back in for this part. I don't know why you got to give that monologue by yourself.
Well, because I wanted to have an intimate discussion.
Sansu, meet me at camera 3.
You must have the lettuce chunks in manageable pieces.
Now this is not difficult, and I understand this is. I know a lot of American Asian restaurants screw this up, but normally not this drastically. If the lettuce is literally, it's like the size of a maple leaf. I'm not kidding.
I might as well have gotten a wedge salad.
Were this big, yeah.
And this wasn't a Japanese restaurant where you got a fork with your chopsticks.
No, this isn't one. Yeah, well, not one of these the Japanese are like, here's your chopsticks, but for reals, here's your fork. No. Here's your chopsticks, and I guess the bowl. Those were your 2 utensil options, and they're giant pieces of lettuce. It's not doable.
And then you get to the soup.
That's a soup,
which separated.
It was
separate. It was water.
It was kind of creepy, to be honest.
Nastiness.
And we kept stirring. It and it kept really quickly. I get that if you leave soup sit for like a long time, it's gonna separate. But like usually that's more than the 45 seconds. I think this took. It was disgusting.
So if you are going to open a restaurant, make sure your soup and salad aren't that horrendous.
I guess this is why they weren't charging for them.
This has been an edition of Restaurant Advice with the Bracket Guys. Got our rolls. Between 6 and 8, got 5.
Got 5. Now, got 5.
Damn it, guys.
5. Yeah, first of all, good try. But more to the point, got 5 pieces, but had about 7 slices worth of food. But apparently rice is very expensive in East Lansing.
They had to
skimp. So yes,
it was like they glued, like it was like macaroni.
So there's like a giant, and I get that at most sushi restaurants you'll have some addition on the end of the roll. You'll have some additional if you have crab or something in the middle. You'll have some additional come out, but some additional is like maybe twice the length, not literally 5 times as tall. The roll is falling apart, and so now you have this giant piece of fried crab in your hand. You're going, this is not sushi. This is just I went to Long John Silver's.
Yeah. So general consensus on the 4 rolls. Not one bit of flavor.
No.
Not one bit. And I get that sushi is not one of those big flavorful things. But even with soy sauce and wasabi, it was barely tolerable.
It wasn't even, I don't know, intolerable word. It'd be like...
It wasn't intolerable. It was barely flavorful.
It was just sushi-shaped nutritional pellets.
This was like, I pictured like field rations.
Yeah, this is like if you made sushi field rations, which seems like a lot of work. But yeah,
I don't know why who would do that.
I mean, we had all these different things in it. No discernible flavor. And then after we went there, we went to this bakery that we never been to next door because we had to have something with food flavors. It was unreal.
And for all this horrible soup and salad, horrible service, it was $42. $42. So,
which would not be an unreasonable price for the amount of food we got had the amount of things on our plates actually been what you'd like to call food.
So I guess if I had to give this a rating between 0 and 5 stars, it would be a 1.5. It wasn't. They didn't actively. I didn't watch them spit in my food.
I mean, I didn't get poisoned, and the food, it didn't taste bad per se,
but it wasn't anywhere near worth for in the bang for the buck category. It got like a negative 18.
It's like just in no way worth.
So it'd be 1.5 stars for me. What about
I mean, this boat, yeah, I 1.5. I mean, especially, going back to our bracket, guys, we only have one sushi restaurant left on the board. So, I mean, Omi is the only one
And
left.
we had kind of thought if we had gone to this and it was mountains better than sushi or Omi or whatever, we might find a way to stick it in. It wouldn't have even made the NIT.
I don't think it would have. I mean, this was worse than sushi. I mean,
Rick's.
this was worse. It was terrible. I mean,
It was with Rick's.
What?
It was with Rick's.
It's with Rick's. Screw it.
It was just terrible.
Yeah, just awful.
Just terrible.
Awful.
So, for all you who love Sansu, please comment on this and let us know what you got.
Yeah, what did you order and how did
and did you go at a different time? We were at dinner time.
And which edition of the menu did you have? Maybe that was the problem.
Maybe we got the wrong menu. I don't know. But please, if you like it, let us know and tell us what to order because it was terrible and I'm never.
And by tell us what to order, you mean order it for us because we're not paying again.
Yeah. So if you feel strongly, send a self-addressed stamp envelope to us with money in it so that we can go try it. Or come here.
You can just
if you're attractive, come here. We can go out.
If you're not attractive,
I mean, just send us the money. Sorry. What are you doing?
It's part of the policy.
Why am I leaving?
I'm sorry.
I don't because I'm pushing the chair.
I don't know why. Yeah, you're just leaving.
I hit the yoga mat.
Using the force. Anywho.
But nonetheless, so that's our bonus review of Shansu Sushi and Cocktails, summed up in one phase. TBG's Clatterbuck. Take the goat and Zest go. Go team. And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Bite me.